Okay, go.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Wednesday edition of Pro Line. I'm Dave Coken, just nice with me. And we got the NFL playoff action breaking down. We'll look at another one of this weekend's wild card round matchup. Meanwhile, I've got an NBA twin bill going tonight. Two NBA games that I like. One is an upset special, and the other one is the matchup between Detroit and Miami. And you can get them both right now at jimfights.com. You can also get my NFL game of the weekend. I would suggest getting that quickly because the line is going to move. And the earlier you get it, the more value you have. Jim, how about you?
Well, college basketball has been very good. Pro football has been very good. The NBA, not bad, choppy kind of. I'm pretty excited about what we got coming up this weekend with the NFL wild cards. I'm very excited about college basketball. We're getting into the meat of the conference season, which has always been a gold mine for me and my clients. So I'm really excited about that. Football, of course, will be over soon. But there's a lot to talk about with that. We got the big championship game in college football coming up this week. Big matchup between Alabama and Georgia, two SEC teams. That's exciting. I don't know that everybody agrees the team should be in there, but it is what it is, and they are there. And I got to say that Oklahoma-Georgia game last week was classic, and I could actually go back and watch that again, even though I know the outcome. It was really a classic.
I already have.
Oh, you have? That's funny.
Something else you can watch over and over again because they show the replays. This hockey team is amazing. The Vegas Golden Knights have now won 8 in a row. They've got 27 wins overall. And people need to stop calling them an expansion team because, they are, but that's kind of cheapens what they're doing. This is one of the best teams in the league. They're a great skating team. They get good goaltending, very well coached. I'm not saying they're going to win the cup, but this team's a contender, Jim. They're legit. This town is going absolutely nuts over this team.
You know, Dave, I didn't think hockey would make it in this town. I really didn't. And I don't know that it would have if we didn't have this miraculous run by the Golden Knights. This is absolutely incredible. It's a miracle. Who the hell does this? They are, I'm going to say it, they are an expansion team, but they don't play like an expansion team. They play like they've been around for 20 years, and I don't know how the hell they did it.
Well, I know one thing. They've got a chip on their shoulder every night. And as long as people keep referring to them as an expansion team, that chip will stay right there. They keep on, they're thinking that everybody around hockey thinks it's a fluke, and that's fueling their motivation. They just don't take any nights off.
Well, wow, it's great for Las Vegas. We have.
Oh boy.
We have this team now here, and we got the Raiders coming in a couple of years, and the Raiders are making some moves in coaching. They fired Del Rio. They're talking about it's going to be John Gruden going there. Don't know if that's going to happen, but it looks like it. Sounds like it, I should say. But we have stadiums being built. We have practice fields being planned. The real estate values in Las Vegas are going up. When you bring in these professional teams, you also bring in professional athletes and coaching staffs and executive people along with it, and they all make a lot of money, and there's big properties being built here. So it's good for the city of Las Vegas. We're becoming, not just a gambling town, we're a mainstream town now. City, I should say. And it's great for the city. I love it. I've been here for 48 years, and I love seeing it.
There's no question about it. really a tremendous thing. All right, so let's look at the good old NFL here. We looked at one game yesterday, which was the matchup between the Chiefs and Titans. Today, let's look at the Falcons taking on the LA Raiders and get a little bit of an idea on what might happen in this game. We're not going to necessarily give you a pick on the game, but give you some ideas, please. And I mentioned the Falcons are playing the Rams. That's the matchup we're going to look at today. The Falcons and the LA Rams. I wrote Falcons and Panthers on the sheet for some reason. That's obviously not the matchup. The Falcons, the Rams. Look, there's break down the game. I think that you've got some advantages on the Rams side. One advantage they don't have, though, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out, is playoff experience. Now, I know it hasn't been a great season for the Falcons, but they're 0-0 at this point, and so are the Rams. And I think this is one of the things that's really interesting to me is how much that playoff experience is going to play in Atlanta's favor, Jim.
Well, let's start with this. They went through the NFL last year, high-scoring team. Yards per play were amazing. Yards per pass were amazing. The running game, the wide receivers, the quarterback, everything was amazing. Kyle Shanahan was calling the plays. They did something in the Super Bowl that probably should never be done again. It just was devastating for that franchise, for that owner, for the coaches, for the players. To blow a 28-3 lead is absolutely emotionally crippling. So there's always a Super Bowl hangover to the loser anyway, but that was even more so. And then, of course, they lose their offensive coordinator, who is obviously pretty good. And he's moved on to San Francisco, and the Niners have now finished the season 5-0 with a new quarterback. So he obviously knows how to coach. The Falcons, they have tremendous talent. The wide receivers are unbelievable. The running backs are solid, even more than solid. Their offensive line right now is a little banged up. It's a problem. And Matt Ryan hasn't been super consistent all year. There's been so many games where this high-powered offense has scored less than 21 points, which is remarkable. But when you have an offensive line that's shaky, that can affect the quarterback quite a bit. And it affects your running game quite a bit because you need those guys to protect the quarterback and to open holes. And when they're not doing the job, or they're not healthy enough to do the job, it affects you. They played last week. They didn't play great. They won. They got into the playoffs. Now, on a short week, 1 day short, they have to fly 3,000 miles across the country, and I'm sure they're happy to get out of the cold weather that's going to hit the East Coast. But they're going to LA, and they're going to play the Rams, who have had a remarkable season. Gurley, Goff, offensive line solid, running game solid, defense is solid. A new head coach, young, brash guy, very aggressive on offense. Both of these teams can score a lot of points if they're healthy, and I think the Rams deserve to be favored in the game. I don't know if they deserve to be favored by 6.5 or 7. The game opened 4.5. It's been all money on the Rams. Now, I think that's going to change. I think you're going to see some sharps come in and take these points. I think if you see 7, you're going to see a lot of money come in on the Falcons because the experience level is remarkable.
I don't see any way this gets to 7. I think if it's 7, it goes back down immediately. I'd be really surprised if it gets to 7. I think it's going to stay 6, 5.5, 6. And what are the reasons? And again, I'm not telling you that I'm playing this side. I'm just giving you numbers. Well, the Rams are a losing team at home. They don't have much of a home field advantage. LA teams are not well supported at home in pro football. That's just a simple statement of fact. We know that going back a long, long way. And the Rams, as good as they've been this year, they're 3-4 at home. They've got a losing record at home. And if you've watched some of their games at home, they don't even have half the crowd. There are going to be a lot of Atlanta Falcons fans at this game. It's not going to feel like a true road game in Falcons. And again, I'm not saying go bet Atlanta, but I'm telling you these are things to factor in. Also, yards per play is a stat that a lot of guys like to look at, a lot of numbers like to look at. The Falcons, they haven't made the most of it. They haven't been an efficient football team. But the Falcons are better in terms of yards per play. They're better on both offense and defense than the Rams. So factor those two things in, and I don't think you're going to see. I'd be absolutely shocked if this line gets to 7. I can't see. In fact, I think 6.5. I think 6.5 would be high. I don't expect it to be. I think this line actually could come down a bit. Now it'll be sharp money if it does. Public is going to play the Rams this game.
Dave, I'm looking right now. The game opened 4.5 and 49, and the 4.5 was when it opened. It was minus 115, so they were leaning between 4.5 and 5. Everyone on the board right now, everyone, is 6.5 except one place. Now, let me tell you about this one place. I'll even mention the name. It's an offshore. It's called Bovada. They are typically a favorite house. So when you look at their lines, they're always higher than everyone else. So if you're a dog player, that's the place you want to go. The only thing is they have low limits. But they're the only store out there with a 6, which is the opposite of their personality. The only store, unless there's an electronic glitch in there that they're not feeding the boards right now and not getting the right number, but like guys like Pinnacle and Five Dimes and Bookmakers, they're all sitting at 6.5. Heritage and Intertops. I'm looking at every one of them right now. Everybody is at 6.5. I don't think you're going to see 7. And if you do, you better be right there to get it. If you want, because, and it's possible you could do that. But you have to have your finger on the button, because as soon as it hits 7, people are going to grab it. There's no question.
Well, you also, but if you like the Falcons, and 6.5's out there, go ahead and buy the half point. 7, a key number, and unless it depends on how much you get. I wouldn't go minus 135 or something like that. But if you can get plus 7 minus 115 at a good shot, or minus 120, if you like the Falcons, that's not a bad bet.
Well, let's talk a little bit about this. There's a thing called teasers. A lot of people I know that don't play teasers. I'm a very selective teaser player throughout the year in pro football. But in the playoffs, when you have a little bit more better quality teams, which means you can get a little bit more consistency from them than from the bottom clubs. If you look at the Rams, you could tease the Rams down with a 6-point teaser down to -0.5. So if they win the game by 1, but now you got to find the other team, if it's a 2-teamer, to put with it. The other side of it is, if you like the Falcons, you could actually take them up to 12.5. That's not a bad thing. So if you like the dogs, you take a 2-team teaser, find 2 teams, either favorites or dogs, whatever you like, or you can even do it with totals. You can also tease totals. So that's something to consider if you're trying to get involved in these games, and you don't want to be caught with just laying all favorites or taking, like Kansas City sitting at 9, 8.5, 9. You may not want to lay 9. You might want to lay Well, laying 3 is a dangerous thing too. If you knocked it down, but if you took a 6.5, you'd make laying 2.5. Or you could take Tennessee and get 15. So there's lots of ways to play, and then of course the totals are involved. You could take a 44, make it 50, or you can make it 38. I'm talking if you take true 6-point teasers. There are 6.5 and 7-point. You just pay more juice. I don't recommend that generally. Anyway, this Falcons-Rams game, if both teams play to their capabilities, the line is probably too high. The problem is Rams have played more to their capability this year than the Falcons, which is why they're the host team. And the Falcons have rarely put their offensive skills on the field. It's been more talk than production. Now, as far as home field advantage, the Rams are a new team with a new coach, young quarterback, and LA is a tough town because there's a lot of competition for the home fans, college and pro, and the great weather and the beaches and all the other things. It's always been a tough city for that. But this is the playoffs, and I think things will get a little bit different in the playoffs, especially if they win game 1. Of course, they're in the Minnesota division, so they're going to have to go to Minnesota if they do that.
Yeah.
And that's tough. They got a bad break there when the Saints lost last week to Tampa. That put the Rams in the Minnesota bracket instead of the Eagles bracket. And the way the Eagles are playing, you'd probably want to go to the Eagles in Minnesota. Anyway, that's an interesting dilemma for them.
By the way, just one quick note of the line. You're right, offshore, I've seen 6.5. Here in Las Vegas, mostly 6. Wynn, William Hill, South Point, they're all sitting at 6. So there's differences evidently in the market as far as the Las Vegas houses and the offshore houses are concerned. So you'll have to decide which one's sharper. But they're lower here in Las Vegas for the most part than they are offshore. I'm looking at Rams 6 minus 15, minus 15 at Greek and Brandy, 6 minus 120, local at CG at 6.5 at Westgate. But Wynn, William Hill, South Point are all only at 6. Station, which is along the lines of Bovada, if you want to break down the locals, Station is more of a favorite house. They're 6.5. So I think the market's reflective of what I was saying as far as that goes locally, and yet it's different offshore. Interesting stuff.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Right. Got a free play tonight. This is my only college play tonight, by the way. It's a big board, but I just didn't see much. But this game I do like, and I think it's worth a play. And it's UNLV, San Jose State game. Boy, UNLV, and I obviously follow the team very closely. And I have not been impressed by their recent play, even though they've won 5 in a row. I thought they were doing a lot of bad things on the court in terms of not running a half-court offense, getting lazy on the glass, not playing good basketball. They looked to me like a team that was kind of reading their own headlines and thinking they were better than they were. They got their teeth kicked in on Saturday night in the second half against Boise State. Absolutely blown out on their home court. So I would think if Marvin Menzies is any good at this stuff, he's going to have his team ready to go tonight. If they're ready to go, San Jose State doesn't have a chance in this game. Spartans, I'm not saying that UNLV is a real good team. They're not. But San Jose State is first of all, they're lousy. Second of all, they're big but not athletic at all. They're kind of a lumbering team. They're not fast. UNLV is extremely athletic. That's the strongest thing the Rebels have going for them is their athleticism. I mean, they can run with anybody. They've got athletes out there. And this is a perfect matchup for them in terms of a situation where they figure they go out there in kind of an angry mood after getting spanked at home. And they're playing a team that can't stop their athleticism. I think UNLV can win this game by 20. There's not much of a home court advantage for San Jose, especially with the kids just getting back in school. I don't even know if they are back yet. I made the number higher in this game. I think it was 14. UNLV is a decent play at the price. I'm checking the current number right now just to get to the right price in the game. And I'm seeing UNLV now up to 13 and 13 and a half. So the good number's gone, but I still think UNLV's worth a play here, Jim.
I agree with you, Dave. I think UNLV is a play, and I think you're looking at an 18 to 20 point win. I agree totally with that. They haven't been as impressive in the last few games as they were, but it's a long season. I mean, these teams play 30 games, throughout the season, so they're going to have little slumps.
I don't think they're going to be that good because, to be honest with you, they don't run a good half-court offense. Conference play, you've got to be able to run a half-court offense, especially in the Mountain West. It's that type of league, and unless they improve that aspect, they'll be maybe a 500 team in the league, and that's about it. Nothing wrong with being 500 in college basketball. Lots wrong with 500 not business. You want to be better than 50%, obviously. I think I've got 2 NBA games tonight that are going to get you paid. The Detroit-Miami game and an upset special where I got some good information yesterday. This is why I read so many websites, and I got some good practice court information. It's not inside information. I don't want anybody to misconstrue what I'm saying. It's not one of these bullshit things where I'm coming out there and saying, yeah, I got inside information. It's not inside information. It's readily available, but I'm not going to tell you where it is because then you won't know what the game is. You won't need to buy my ticket. But this team's going to come out and play tonight, and they're getting points, and I think it's a great spot. So get those games at JimFights.com and get my NFL game of the week. They've been winning like crazy. The games of the week have been fantastic. So they're available right now at JimFights.com and VegasSportsMasters.com. Jim, you've got great stuff tonight as well.
I do. I've got 4 college basketball games up and ready right now, and I've been hot in college hoops. So you want to go there, JimFights.com, get those plays. I also have, right now, I have 2 plays up in the NFL wild card weekend. So you want to go get those as well. So, and then we got the big college game coming up also this week. We'll talk about that again tomorrow.
All right, Jim, that'll do it for our Wednesday edition. We will come back on Thursday, and we'll get you another NFL playoff round, wild card round breakdown. We'll also, sometime the next 2 days, we will get to Georgia and Alabama as well. So make sure to tune in the rest of the week here on ProLine.